Would you support or oppose a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran?
Israel's ability to be able to defend itself is absolutely fundamental. Getting its hostages back, fundamental, and ending the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
I know that a lot of you are worried about the chaos in the world and the feeling that the American dream is unattainable. So if we get Donald Trump back in the White House, the American dream is going to be attainable once again.
President Trump has called climate change a hoax. Do you agree?
Well, look, what the president has said is that if the Democrats really believe that climate change is serious, what they would be doing is more manufacturing and more energy production in the United States of America, and that's not what they're doing.
To call it a hoax and to take the oil company executives to Mar-a-Lago, say, give me money for my campaign and I'll let you do whatever you want. We can be smarter about that.
Your campaign is pledging to carry out the largest mass deportation plan in American history and to use the U.S. military to do so.
We have a historic immigration crisis because Kamala Harris started and said that she wanted to undo all of Donald Trump's border policies.
We had the fairest and the toughest bill on immigration that this nation's seen. But as soon as I was getting ready to pass and actually tackle this, Donald Trump said no. This is what happens when you don't want to solve it. You demonize it. And we saw this. And Senator Vance talking about and saying, I will create stories to bring attention to this. That vilified a large number of people who were here legally in the community of Springfield. The governor had to send state law enforcement to escort kindergartners to school.
Springfield, Ohio does have a large number of Haitian migrants who have legal status.
Since you're fact checking me, there's an application where you can go on as an illegal migrant, apply for asylum, and be granted legal status. That is the facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by our own
Thank you, Senator, for describing the legal process. We have so much to get to, Senator. Thank you, gentlemen.
The CBP app has not been on the books since 1990.
Donald Trump took folks to Mar-a-Lago, said, you're rich as hell, I'm going to give you a tax cut. He gave the tax cuts that predominantly went to the top caste. What happened there was an $8 trillion increase in the national debt, the largest ever. He brags about how great it was that he put the judges in and overturned Roe versus Wade. And then he tells us, oh, we send it to the states. It's a beautiful thing. What's right for Texas might not be right for Washington. Their Project 2025 is going to have a registry of pregnancies. It's going to make it more difficult, if not impossible, to get contraception and limit access, if not eliminate access to infertility treatments.
But what do we do about the schools? What do we do to protect our kids? And I think the answer is to increase security in our schools.
Do you want your schools hardened to look like a fort?
We unfortunately have a mental health crisis in this country that I really do think that we need to get to the root causes of, because I don't think it's the whole reason why we have such a bad gun violence problem, but I do think it's a big piece of it.
At the last presidential debate, Trump was asked about replacing the Affordable Care Act.
I was there at the creation of the ACA. He ran on the first thing he was going to do on day one was to repeal Obamacare. And he would have repealed the ACA had it not been for the courage of John McCain to save that bill.
You have said you would not have certified the last presidential election.
Well, Nora, first of all, I think that we're focused on the future. We need to figure out how to solve the inflation crisis caused by Kamala Harris's policies.
That is a damning non-answer.
It's a damning non-answer for you to not talk about censorship. Obviously, Donald Trump and I think that there were problems in 2020. We've talked about it. I'm happy to talk about it further.